I cannot really say by mistake because I always believe that the actions you're taking is taking you towards that, and that's really what I believe gave me the skills to perform in this industry. But yeah, it was more like looking to give purpose to what I did and I liked.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. One of your hosts here, Trey King. And today we are very excited to have our guest, Mr. Alejandro Martinez from Propelling Tech. And we'll be diving into his story a bit today, as well as what it is his company does, and then some engaging insights into the technology industry. So make sure to stick around for this one. Hey, but without further ado, Alejandro, welcome to the Grow IT podcast.
Thank you for having me, Mark. I'm really looking forward for our conversation.
Oh, lovely. No, we're so pleased to having you on. Alejandro, if you don't mind, just to quickly introduce yourself and just just tell us a snippet of your story.
So I'm Alejandro Martinez. I say I'm consider myself a global citizen or a citizen of the world. Originally from Medellin, Colombia, but I have spent more than half of my life in London, Barcelona, Valencia, and New York,
Oh
and
wow.
even traveling around the globe. I love traveling, so that's, let's say, like my hobby. Um, on the professional side, I have been dedicated more than 20 years to technology and more concrete to data and AI. So that's kind of my passion and what I like to do in general.
Yeah, nice. Tell me, Alejandro, what was it that you like got into this, in our business sector? What was it that was like sparking your interest and that got you passionate about what you're doing?
So, like in reality, when I started, like, I mean, I like a lot about learning. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm someone that is zero conformist, or I want to challenge the status quo. In order for you to challenge the status quo, you need to learn
Yeah.
and even learn how to, like, I don't know, learn new things and forget about the old things. In that way of learning, I ended spending a lot of years at college. Like, I mean, I did 4 degrees between like majors and minors and masters. So when
What?
I, yeah, I did business
You mean
engineering.
you like learning, man?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I went there. I spent 9 years at college between all the different things. I was doing parallel uh, structures in different college, but at the end is I liked the engineering side, the problem solving, the mathematics, the programming. So I first went to engineering, but I liked the business side. So then I went to business. Then I started looking into the international side, like how to do business globally, like
Okay.
in Middle East, in China, in Russia, in South America, in US. And then I came back again to industrial engineering. So when I came to this industry where I am, like at the beginning it was called more like data warehousing and business intelligence 20 years ago. So it was more like giving a purpose to everything that I did. Like it was mixing technology, engineering, programming with business. So for me, it was kind of a way of realizing and not feeling that I was wasting my time on learning. Um, so that's how I got here. Like at the beginning, explaining even at home what was my profession was really difficult. Like, I mean, at that time, now you say, what do you do? I work with data and AI. Oh, okay. But at that time, it was like, what is that? It's like whatever. Like, let's just I help companies make better decisions, basically. So
Yeah.
I cannot really say by mistake because I always believe that the actions you're taking is taking you towards that, and that's really what I believe gave me the skills to perform in this industry. But yeah, it was more like looking to give purpose to what I did and I liked.
All right. Tell me, I would like to hear your thoughts on the market. You've got, you've got experience in various countries regarding markets, and obviously you are focused. It seems like your biggest market in the US at the moment. The to your because of your expertise, like what would you say is the current trends that you are aware of? Currently in our industry, what have you picked up? What ways are the winds blowing these days?
Meaning right now the biggest thing, and for good and bad, is of
Okay.
course artificial intelligence, and even right
Yeah.
now called artificial general intelligence, like meaning AI creating AI. Um, that's for good is good, like meaning that give us a lot of work. For bad is creating a hype and is creating a lot of confusion on people. A lot of people, and I mean, I can really generalize, like, I mean, there are really a lot of good initiatives, but right now, people just want to do AI for the sake of doing AI. And that's the biggest mistake you can have. There are some jokes, for example, out there that if you go create an LLC, you just put AI, oh my God, you can a lot of millions.
I've never.
It's,
That's so funny, man.
is really where we are right now in terms of the trends. It doesn't mean it's not positive. Like, I mean, if you transform your business and you do it all the opposite way. I mean, if you're a restaurant, how I can use technology and AI to improve my process and provide better value, then yes, that's going to be a game changer. If you do it the other way around, like, I mean, this is my restaurant and I want to have AI designed to be AI driven, like, it doesn't make any sense. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, I would say biggest trend, not just in my industry, because at the end is affecting everything, is AI. I see it more. I tell people that right now what is happening could be comparable to what internet did for us
Yep.
in the 90s, like reshaping what we know, or even electricity. Like, I mean, it's more you. We're bringing a different way of how we need to work, how we need to operate. Right now, what I'm seeing is more companies using AI or trying to use AI, but using all methods. This will be more the equivalent to like arriving the electricity and people that were working the land with horses using
Yep.
machines and electricity to feed the horses and provide water to the horses instead of thinking, hey, how we can use technology and change the whole process. Maybe we
Got it.
need the horses. And it's difficult. Like, I mean, no one wants to feel that are not useful or that their jobs are going to disappear. But yeah, like some things are going to change. And
Yeah. Yeah. Having said that, would you please elaborate for us a bit? What is it specifically that your company does?
so on our side, like we're a consulting company, but our innovative approach goes into we're technology first and then services. So meaning the whole idea comes from if we need to create a consulting company in this new era, how we will need to do it. Like, I mean, kind of what we were saying with the horses, like, okay, we used to have horses. Now, if we create one, we don't need horses anymore. I normally explain to customers, this is like in consulting, if you give me a room and you say, hey, can you help me doing the painting for this room? It's like, okay, I come there, I do the measures, I count how many hours I will need to paint, and then I give you a budget based on the hours I will dedicate to do the painting. That's how, for example, consulting is working at this moment. What we're looking is you give me the room, I understand the purpose, like I mean, it is
Yep.
for audio, or do you need to have cold temperatures inside? They
Mm.
what we do is we analyze the challenge and the problem, the opportunity for the company, and then we use technology to automate as much as we can. So meaning we're looking for technologies that are less intensive in services, and then
Yep.
our services come as the pieces that technology can really do. So on the analogy of painting the room would be like the corners and small details. We
Mm.
estimate that is like 20 to 30% of the normal consulting services that we're doing. And that technology approach comes to like, I mean, at the end, we say why Propelling Tech is the technology approach of being technology first, but then that makes faster times to market. Like, I mean, we deliver faster than normal, and then lower TCOs. Like, I mean, the total cost of ownership for a solution becomes lower in terms of services, software, hardware, and a lot of things behind.
Excellent. Thank you for elaborating. Having said that, what would you've already mentioned to me a lot of things, what you guys do, but out of that, or if there's maybe something different, what would you label as like the most significant value your business can bring to other businesses? I don't know if you maybe want to take a case study as an example, but what would you say is that value that people appreciate from you guys?
So one thing at the end is at Propelling Tech, we are all coming from a consulting company we created 20 years ago. So basically is we say we know what we are doing. We have been part of advisory council for a lot of the technologies on the data and AI space. We have been shaping the industry. We have been doing implementations with that. But at the end, it's not about having that knowledge. It's how we are using that knowledge to apply that into the day-to-day. For us, for example, one use case that it was kind of an aha moment for us is we were invited recently to a global RFP, and we were like, okay, who we are competing with? And there were 13 other companies competing with us in a global RFP. We were saying, I don't know, maybe it's too soon for us to go for that, but let's do it. Let's leave a good flavor of us, and let's go for that. We went. We passed the first round. Then the first round was 11 hours proof of pilot of the whole solution, an Industry 4.0 solution, and we ended winning against, I don't know, big names on consulting companies, big corporations. So we were like, okay, like, I mean, this is no longer luck. Like, it's not that we're being lucky here. And we were coming and asking, like, why you guys like us? And basically they were saying, one, transparency, like, meaning you were the only ones where you wouldn't really bring in a black box for us, like, meaning we understood 100% of what you were doing.
Yeah,
you were better aligned with our technologies stack in terms of what you were building, and that comes from the technology approach. Like, I mean, at the end, we define the technology and then we add the services.
Yeah.
And in terms of budget, it was a fraction of what everyone else was putting as a quote. And it wasn't really that we were working from offshoring. No, like, I mean, we were working locally with people on site, but because it was less services, it was making a better overall solution. So
that's fascinating. I can understand why you guys are so successful. That's proper value you take into the market. I would like your take on, maybe this might be just a bit more broadly of but I would like your take on what would you say, some insight regarding the importance of business transformation, if we can call it that, and the drive, to change from current strategy. If you don't mind, just to
In fact, I just recently participated in a CEO connection convention with a lot of CEOs from mid-market in US. And the topic was this one. Like, one of the pieces that I was telling everyone is a lot of companies tend to keep the pace. Like, I mean, at the end is when you're doing digital transformation, it's like, my neighbor or this company just implemented this technology or this CRM. I want also that software. I want to do this. When you're doing all that stuff, you're just keeping the pace. Like, I mean, you're adding a data warehouse because someone in the market is telling you to do it, or you're adding AI because playing golf, you found that your, I don't know, competitor is doing AI. I call that keeping the pace. I mean, that's not going to make you different in the market. You're just spending money on initiatives that you can go and promote that you're doing all these initiatives, but it's not a game changer. In order to be a real game changer, you need to step back, think on your business strategy, think on, and even more like brainstorm, like how you can change the value, how you deliver value to your customer, how you can change process, how you can increase your differentiation by using technology. And then, yes, technology comes as a solution or as an opportunity to use that. But if you don't do this exercise from the business strategy, oh, you're losing money. Like, meaning you will implement a data warehouse, you won't get adoption. 3 years after, you will be migrating into a new data warehouse, and it becomes a cycle. And in consulting, companies like this, like, I mean, at the end, you have business for life. Like, you implement, there is no purpose, then you do another implementation, you migrate. That's kind of what we're trying to fight. Like, I mean, we're trying to shorten the technical debt for our customer. We're trying to look for technologies that are no code, low code, that are more automated, that are easy to manage by a business user. The overall solution is easier to maintain. But yeah, everything needs to come from business strategy.
And then, if you don't mind, maybe to add to that, this is very fascinating for me. Then as an owner, right? What type of mindset would you say is needed to be a successful founder of a business? You've mentioned a couple of things now. Is there maybe something else you would like to maybe add to that as well?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing, if you're creating something, and it doesn't need to be your own company, it could be a product, it could be you're working in a company and you're in R&D, or you want to bring a new idea, is you cannot really be afraid of failure, and what other people will think about if you fail. Like, even at Propelling Tech, when we started, a lot of people were saying, you're crazy, no, this won't work. And it's normally when you're challenging the normal, the standard, is that the normal concept you will get, no, it won't work, it haven't worked in the last 20 years or 30 or 10, why it will work for you? So, like, meaning for someone that is creating something, first, cannot really be afraid of failure, because of course you can fail. But the other one is, as you navigate the idea or the project or your company, you will be reshaping this idea. And maybe it isn't 100% what you thought, it's moving. But if you have the conviction that this might work, is what is going to drive that effort in order to make
what it's going to take.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And not just to, like you rightfully mentioned earlier, not just to settle for that status quo. And then, I think that people, like, in general, I think we're all just wired that way, maybe, are a bit more risk adverse, when it comes to putting yourself out there, especially if you've been in the habit of, like you mentioned, working for 20 years or so, right? So no, I think that's definitely a good mindset to have. Is there maybe like a golden nugget or two, some advice that you would give, or some of the important things that you've learned in your career up until now? I mean, you've been at a couple of places, right? Like you said, you like to travel. Is there, maybe just one or two things that you've learned in your career that you are, willing to share?
So one of the pieces, and even this is what I tell my kids, is knowledge right now is, let's say, free. Like, I mean, you can get knowledge really easy right now, learning technologies or whatever. The most important thing you can really learn or buy is people. Like, I mean, in your network, how you work with people with real relationships. When you really pay attention to this, and meaning it needs to go beyond the titles. Like, I mean, a lot of people is like, oh, I want to meet just with vice presidents. Like, okay, good luck. Like, I mean, a title just stays for a little bit. Like, it's not staying for life with you. What really matters is the people that are behind. So whatever is the role, and I always say, I mean, you can go to your hairdresser, and that person can give you an advice, or it might know someone that might be useful for you. It can be like a bridge of connections. So when you treat the whole like people as your asset, but as a truly real asset, like as I need to build on the relationships.
Yeah.
I think it's the best thing you can have. Everything else comes as a complement, like meaning all your degrees, your jobs, everything comes as a complement. I always say, like, for example, the best way to get into a president of a company is by knowing the assistant. Like, it's the person that knows the agenda, and is the person that can bring you with that agenda.
How they move.
Yeah.
That's wise words, man. That's wise words. No, but Alejandro, I need to, I told you this earlier, but I commend you for, you guys got excellent values in the way, you've got an interesting take on it where you mentioned like technology first and then service, which I now fully understand. So you provided us with some very good knowledge here today. So I would like to thank you for coming on. Tell me, Alejandro, where can the listeners get hold of you guys?
Yeah, like at propellingtech.com, I don't know, you can find all the details to contact us. You can find me in LinkedIn, like as Alejandro Martinez, and by searching Propelling Tech. My name in Spanish is like John Smith, so like it's a travel thing when traveling, when doing a lot of things. So, but if you
That's
put the
brilliant.
tagline of Propelling Tech, is easy.
Oh, lovely. Alejandro, thank you so much for your time. All the best and good luck to you guys, man.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me.
Lovely. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.